Hello, hi everyone. We are live.
It's clearer. I think it's
The lighting. You can't put anything not put light unless you have a window behind you. Hi everyone. Just a moment, we're going.
Yeah, stop doing that.
Hi everyone. Hi. I'm in Charlotte. We're going live right now. I'm just gonna give a few minutes for everyone to join.
I know it's a weird time. It's Saturday afternoon. I know people are probably out at brunch or running errands.
Yeah, we had to just do it this time. Right, whoever don't watch it, watch the replay. We're gonna repost it, but yeah.
I was looking at analytics on Saturday, so like the best time would be like 10 p.m. I'm like, nah, we're not going live at 10 p.m. And then Sunday, obviously, like the evenings when most people are on. But we just wanted, hi Russell, hey, nice to see you.
Russell. Hello. So we got a few loyals that are gonna come no matter what time, what day. So that sounds like sometimes you get so crazy about what day, what time, just do it. Regardless. People will
done
watch
is
it.
Better than perfect.
Yeah, people will watch it eventually. They'll replay it if they can't make it live. A lot of people can't make lives live. They're at work. They have obligations. No matter when you do it. So yeah, but how you all doing this Saturday? And make sure you put in the chat where you guys are calling from. Or where you guys are streaming. Where you guys are joining from.
Ooh, let's be.
Bless you. All right, make sure as you're coming in, please like the video.
Some likes.
Please like the video. As you guys like it, people will be joining it. YouTube pushes it into the algorithm, so that's why we always tell you guys to like, share, whatever you can do. It really helps. All right, so it's 2 minutes. We don't want to wait too long. Just give. Okay, we got a few more people.
Yeah, let's start. So today, Ngozi was telling me about this. I think I watched some of his videos. He's a popular YouTuber. Hi, Final Girl, and he makes videos about like relocation, cities, and that's basically our niche. If you want to be honest, it's right. We talk a lot about moving, relocation, what best cities, especially pertaining to people of color. Not necessarily specific to just people, millennials, but obviously we're millennials and we're women of color, right? So that's something you have to think about. So this video talked about best cities for Black Americans. Right, and he
would top 10 Black people are Black Americans are
moving to. So Ngozi was playing a video in the background. I was making notes for the next video we're about to film, and I was just kind of listening. I was like, "Oh, these cities sound interesting." And I noticed he was like, he said Atlanta, then he said Houston, Charlotte wasn't mentioned. And I was like,
Charlotte's gonna be in the list.
And I was like, Charlotte's gonna be in the list. And Ngozi was doubting me because he was already like, "Oh, number 2 is
Raleigh." So number 1 was Charlotte. Oh my God, I was screaming like, yo, number 1, because
she sleeps on Charlotte because she comes here for 30 hours every time she comes here.
And she don't get for 36 hours.
But I've been to Houston more. I've been to Houston,
Charlotte more. What are you talking about?
I've been to Charlotte in the years though. In the 1 year that you've been in Houston, I've been there more than how many times you've been in Charlotte.
But you've been in Charlotte longer. So over the time you've been in Charlotte,
I've been to Charlotte. What I'm saying is that when you used to come to Charlotte, I didn't go out. I didn't know anywhere.
Then say that.
I didn't know what
I've been to Charlotte more than you've been to Houston.
But anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is that people sleeping because there was Atlanta was like number 5 or something. Then Houston was like number 4 or something. I
can't remember. What was number 3?
So while
they had Jacksonville, Florida, Orlando, Florida, Denver, Colorado was number 10. According to World Briggs, I've linked the video down in the description box when we're done. Y'all can check it out. He makes really good content. He was basically what prompted him to make this video. He said that he gets a lot of emails, people suggesting what to do, and a common thing a common email he gets especially is from Black/African Americans. You have to use both. And he mentioned that because people get mad when he says Black Americans. People get mad when he says African Americans.
Really? Yes. I missed that part.
So the big thing, DMV was not in the list area.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising.
Russell's in Atlanta. Yes, Atlanta was in the list. Yes, area. DMV was not in the list. He gets a lot of African American Black people asking, where is the best place for me to move as a Black person?
Where I'll feel comfortable.
He's like, you should be able to move anywhere, but let's be real, like, this is the world we live in. I understand why they're asking that question, because if you just say what's the best place to move based on economic growth, what's the best place to move based on income, what's the best place to move based on weather, all those lists will look very different. But as a Black person, there are things that we have to consider that a lot of other non-Black people don't think about when they're moving into an area. Not to say you want the best for yourself. It's not to say you're not going to get the best because you want to be around Black people, but at the same time, you don't want to move somewhere have a very uncomfortable experience.
Right.
So it's like you have to look at both. So he went through a lot of statistics, and how he was ranking it is which cities had the biggest Black growth in Black population. Charlotte had the biggest, which is 17%. within the last 10 years, just from 2010 since 2020, every 10 years, whatever. So I'm like, that is crazy. And I could see Houston was number 4, right? And I could see why Houston wouldn't be up there, because Houston originally has a lot of black people to begin with. So we're talking about population growth. Even though it's growing,
Because a
it's
lot of
only
people
going to
have
grow but
left
so much.
Houston.
Atlanta was like number 7. Atlanta's had a lot of black people for a long time.
Right.
So it's like you don't expect it. It's like it's only but so much higher it's going to go, because it's already started with such a large number. But I could see how Charlotte made number 1, because it probably didn't have as large, and then it's just a lot of millennials. People are moving to Charlotte very rapidly, and the population is getting bigger, specifically the black population. So I'm like, let's talk about this in today's live, because I was in shock. I had to bite my tongue.
I know Charlotte was
bite my
on
words.
this, but I'm not gonna lie. As they started saying, "Oh, number 3, number 2," like, they didn't say Charlotte yet. So I was like, Charlotte has to be number 1.
Dallas was on the list, of course. Dallas, Austin. We made our
Nashville. Yes, Russell.
Nashville was on the list. Yes, Russell, you on there. Nashville was on the list. I just going through comments this week. I think it was Thursday. Somebody had just mentioned the reason why they left Houston, because it's getting so expensive. And they went to Tennessee, and now they're experiencing the same thing. So I can't recall where they didn't mention the part I had asked, but I heard Tennessee's getting expensive as well. Probably Nashville, because it's is that the capital? Nashville.
I'm not sure.
I know they have major cities, Memphis, Chattanooga. I think Nashville is the capital. But I was like in shock. Like, Charlotte number 1, huh? I had to bite my words.
Haters always gonna hate.
I had to bite my words. So we're bringing up this topic because just trying to really think, like, as I don't know, everyone may not be black, but we know we have a lot of black people who watch us. We have a lot of people that interact with our content. In terms of population growth, is that, I feel like, an accurate metric to measure whether a city would be good for black African American people overall? Because yes, I guess the way he's looking at it is that more people are moving there, they're comfortable there,
okay,
right? There's a reason why they're coming there. But I think the reason why what I say about Charlotte, and I'm not hating on Charlotte. Charlotte's a beautiful city, wonderful, beautiful, amazing. Is that
we're about to make a pros and cons video after this.
I still feel like they don't do a good enough job catering to black people in terms of the nightlife and like going out. I haven't been here in a while.
I think what you're trying to say, you don't want to say that they don't do a good time catering to maybe ethnic black people, maybe Nigerians, maybe Africans, maybe other like Caribbeans. But I feel like Charlotte is a very black city. Like, I'm telling you, we can go out tonight. I can list you all the places, the issue they're gonna play rap music all night, and that's not the vibe I really like. I say it all the time because I'm not against rap music. I don't hate it, but I don't want to go out and hear it. Brings an aggressive and kind of like when you're going to something that's only playing rap music, it brings this kind of like aggressive vibe. It brings a certain vibe that's not
we can bring a certain
crowd. Yeah, I want something more like chill, but still see people like me. And I think Charlotte does. That's the issue with Charlotte, is just that like Charlotte has a lot of black. It's full of black owned establishments. It's full of black clubs, black places to go to. It's just maybe that's not what you like. Maybe that's not the vibe you like. But Charlotte has that.
I'm not even saying, because to me, I don't mind. I don't need to be everywhere. I don't need to go out every second to hear African music. Like I said all the time, I can play it in my car. I can play it in my apartment. I don't need to hear that all the time. But I'm talking about even just lounges, places where you can go and it's just calm. It's not like
crave vibes.
Yeah, but it's majority. But it's catering to black people. Mm-hmm. That's the point I make. I don't need
to. We just have clubs.
Yeah, like really just have things you can go to. Mine is the club. Like, I don't care for the club. Like, I don't need to go to the club. I don't need to hear Nigerian music 24/7. It gets tiring. Like, I'm from Houston. If I want to hear that, I can hear that whenever I want to. But I'm just saying about if I say tonight, let's go out to a classy, chill lounge, get some dinner, hear some music. Where are you going to take me? Where are you going to take me? Even Dark Love, yeah, she's agreeing with me. Agree with sister. I can name you
how
5.
How we went to like Pasha.
I can name you in Houston 5 off the head.
Black based
off the head easily. That's the point I try and make. I know Houston.
Charlotte's a white city.
It's that's what I said. It's not that they have a black, but do they cater to them? That's the difference. Atlanta has a population that also cater to the black people there. They have the establishments. Houston has the establishment. That's what makes Houston and Atlanta stand out so much. Charlotte has the numbers. But these places
you're naming goes in Houston, Atlanta, there's still clubs. They're still open to like 2-3.
It don't mind if it's a club, but I'm just saying, like, somewhere you can relax, eat dinner, chill vibes. Yeah. Not playing rap 24/7, not having people.
They would think I used to be a cop,
right? If you come up to them, they're telling you can't get in if you dress such a way. You can't wear cap. You can't wear this. You can't wear this shoe. You can't wear flip-flops. Like, legit, they have strict dress codes. But you'll go over there and you'll see, even if it's
mostly
mixed,
black,
but you'll still see a lot of black people. It can even be a mixed crowd, but let's say 30-40% will be
maybe
black.
If you go to like the rooftops, you might see more. But the issue with the music, they're not going to
necessarily they're still going to play, maybe some slow R&B, some jams, some old school. It doesn't need to be Afro beats. It doesn't need to be rap. Just play, even if it's elevated, something calm, elevated music, something calm, jazz, something smooth, and people are just having a
So you
good
want us
time.
to go to
looking
sleep?
nice.
You want us to go out to go to sleep?
No, I didn't say
jazz?
go out to go to sleep. I'm just saying.
But what you're describing to me sounds like a crave vibe.
The point I try and make is I just feel like Charlotte is not developed enough for to match the population they have. That's the point I make.
And
give them
and to
5,
match the
10 years.
growth.
Yes, to give the even from their airport, they're just not developed enough. Like they have the numbers, they have the people, but it's like when you look at the things that are here, it's like it doesn't match to me. Like I feel like it should be way more established. It should have way more venues. I don't know if it's a political thing, if it's businesses are hard to open here. There may be other reasons why people are not. Because I could say you go open it if you want that. There's maybe a reason why people can't. Are y'all red? Y'all are purple, right?
Yeah,
you're not red. Yeah, I'm from a red state. So, you know, business oriented, small business.
You're from, or you live in?
I live in a red state. Big business, small government. So maybe that could be a factor too. Why you go to Texas is like everyone has a business. Like same thing with Atlanta. Georgia's a red state. Yeah, Atlanta may be a little mixed, but Georgia's definitely a red state. I hear it might be turning purple, but that's besides the point. So it may be a politic, you know what I mean? Like a thing that's reason why some places are able to establish places easier and other places aren't. But that's the point I make. I'm gonna put respect on Charlotte's name. Charlotte's a beautiful city, has a lot to offer. But as a young African American black single black woman, I understand why someone will be a little hesitant to move here, because I just don't feel as if, in terms of social life, I don't feel like they have as much to offer as other bigger cities.
Yeah.
That's it. Doesn't mean they don't have anything to offer.
Right,
doesn't mean they don't have things to offer. They do. Trust me. We might be in Crave tonight. They have nice places. They have cute stuff. Like I said, I like
Crave is still like a woman
I like
place.
mixed crowd, right?
Yeah,
I like mixed crowds. I don't feel like I have to. I know sometimes people feel like, oh, black. I don't feel like I need to be around black people all the time. Come on now. Like we're in America. If I want to be around black people all the time, I go to Nigeria every December. That's when I get. That's why people hype it. You get that experience. There's nothing like it. Honestly, that's a big part of it, is being somewhere and seeing a bunch of black people and not having to think about the things we think about in America. But I'm okay with being in mixed crowds. I'm okay with seeing different people.
But Charlotte has mixed crowds. The issue, like for example, I went to Aura right one night with me and my friends, right? A lot of these places, even most people there are black. The issues of what music are they playing? You're playing elevator music. Right. You're playing boring music. It makes the vibe boring. The vibe is dead. You go to these places and it's like this nice. You're on the rooftop, but they're not playing the type of music. It's really, I realized in Charlotte, they stick to the type of music to keep a certain crowd. Yeah. They don't want it to be rowdy. They don't want certain people to come. Even like our cousin came last summer and we tried to go into, it wasn't Aura, I'm mistaken, Nuvole. We tried to go to Nuvole with him and they told him he can't come in because his shirt had a logo on it. Wow. Like certain things like that. Mind you, my cousin is like a very well-off, established guy, but they wouldn't let him in. Like they're trying to sift out their crowd. Yes, they want a certain crowd in the establishment. So you can't blame why some people of color tend to want to just go to black-owned places. Could I have to deal with that discrimination or someone telling me, oh, I have this on, or I can't wear a hat, or I can't wear this.
That's how we be in Lagos. We be in wherever.
Okay, we're talking about America. Stop.
But I'm just saying,
you're diverting.
But I'm comparing it to just being in an all-black country. Imagine the difference. Right. Like it's different. You can't compare it.
People feel comfortable, and I personally feel more comfortable being in black-owned establishments.
Like you, for the most part, people want to. We talk about the history in this country, segregation, all that stuff. There's a difference between segregating yourself by choice or by force. Mm-hmm. By just human nature, people tend to stick to their own people. It doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't mean that they're discriminatory. Racist, right. People feel more comfortable, even when it comes out to dating and marrying. On average, people date their own. Right. That's just facts. And there's a reason why this level of comfort is associated with being with people that look like you, talk like you know what I mean, have that same understanding, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we're in a big city, right? When you go to big cities, there's a lot of popular, we're going to have a video on this too, the pros and cons of big cities overall. There's a lot of similarities amongst them. And that's a part of it. People niche into their own little groups. She said, how is dating in Charlotte? I'm moving there next month. I'm curious about that. I don't know. But I think it's like everywhere. Like, you know, Charlotte is a small city. I'll just put that out there. So you just got to be careful the way you move, you know, because when you start going out, especially to certain places, it's the same people you're seeing everywhere. For the most part, people that are outside are the outside people that stay home are the stay home people. So it's just
I don't think it's anything negative specific to Charlotte. I wouldn't say that. I just think getting older, me and my sister even talked about this earlier, just it's hard because like everyone has someone in some type of way. Like even if people want to say they're single, there's someone in the corner, there's their ex from 6 months ago, there's this girl that they really like, but they're not ready. There's this guy they really like, but the guy's not ready, you know? So I don't think it's a city thing. I think it's just something about getting older, like, you know, but Charlotte's not a bad place, but I agree with my sister, even though she doesn't live here. But I agree with that. Like even with my cousin,
I know all the spots. I don't live here. I can name you 10 spots in Charlotte.
Name 10 spots. Name 10 spots in Charlotte.
Aura, Nouveau, Rooftop, Crave, Safari, Sections, Bacardi, Hookah Hotspot.
Yes,
Stats.
Hey, give me two more.
Give me two more. What's the other one?
You got my favorite. You're missing my favorite outdoor place. You've never been.
Oh, Roof. 1501. That used to be called Max and yes, 1501.
You got one more.
Then we have this one across the street from 1501. We tried to get in that day.
Yes, it's called What's in the Skies? What do you see in the skies?
Stars.
What else?
Nightlight. Cloud. What are you talking about? I know Charlotte. I've been here 8 times. I know Charlotte. Put some respect on my name. I know Charlotte very well, so I'm not someone just talking out of my behind. I respond to comments about Charlotte on this channel.
Oh, stop!
And then I wants to take 2 weeks to respond. I respond to her behalf when I feel like I have the background and I know what I'm talking about. Charlotte's not somewhere I have to come here and learn. I know it. Okay?
But these places you name of the 10, how many have you been to? That's the you know the spots, but you've never been. Literally, only place you named that you've been to is literally Crave.
No, I've been to 1501.
Oh yeah, but me and Dad.
I've been to Nouveau. We went to the rooftop. I don't know if we stayed there. I've been to the rooftop.
Nouveau, you did
Nouveau. We had a reservation or something. We went there. I don't know if we entered, but we were outside like waiting for it.
Have you been to Merchant and Trade?
I think I've been to Merchant. We went to eat that place. We made the video that went viral on TikTok. Then we went across the street. Merchant and Trade is there. We went upstairs.
Yeah.
What are you talking? I've been to these places. I've been here. Like I said, I've been here about 8 times. I know you don't want to put some respect on my name. Charlotte's #1 imports qualified workers to work at the corporate headquarters, so the always evolving population plays a role in that. The joke is finding a natural-born Charlottesian. Same thing with Houston, girl. Really a joke. Everyone's a transplant. It's crazy.
Ciara's laughing. Ciara, what's funny? What you laughing at? Okay, thank you for that advice. No problem. I used to live there. Yeah, so does he really name 10 spots in Charlotte? I'm proud of you. I can't name 10 spots in Houston for a fact.
I just know 36 hours and they don't want to go out. I come for 36 hours and I'm ready. So our 36 hours is different.
All right, be ready tonight because we outside.
But I'm just saying that's the point I make. I met some guys last week. You know, one of them used to live in Charlotte. He's like, yeah, Charlotte's so cool. There's a lot to do. Blah blah blah. Like, you know,
you didn't tell me that.
I did. One of them used to live in Charlotte for a couple of years. But he said he still moved to Houston. He preferred Houston
because it's way more
different. It's different. I'm telling. It's on Houston's like it's on a whole nother level. But even I met a girl also last weekend too, and she's from Atlanta, and she said she lived in Atlanta 8 years. She had to leave Atlanta. She felt like Houston is more upscale. Like Atlanta is just too.
Really, I feel like I think it's the opposite. I think Atlanta to me is.
She said that she was in 8 years. No, it's not. I'm telling you that.
I think Atlanta, I get more of a classy vibe than
the establishments or the people.
The establishments.
Then we're talking about different things. It's not. And I agree with you. I can see where you're coming from. She's like, Atlanta is too ratchet. She's been there 8 years. She's not someone that went there for 2 months and ran away. She's living there for 8 good years. She feel like Houston. People always like to compare Atlanta and Houston.
They're very comparable.
They're very similar. I understand. Mm-hmm. They're very similar cities. Very similar in terms of population, the vibe, the party, right? The swipers. There's a lot of this
large Black population,
right? A large African population.
Yeah,
very similar, but there are a little bit of differences.
Okay, let's go back to Charlotte then. So we say Charlotte is the largest growth in Black population. So we're talking about the largest growth in Black populations. Does that translate necessarily to being better for Black people because there's larger growth? I think the other issue with Charlotte I find living here is that it just seems as if there's a lot of things okay to necessarily to even just millennials, right? Like you go out, and I'm out with a lot of older people in their 40s, people in their 50s. Like I always say that there's no offense. I'm not saying that you can't go out because you're a certain age, but especially like when you come to like the Black owned establishment, you just wonder like where are the young single people at? Like where are the young millennials at? You know, it's almost like do they exist? You know, like what caters
That's
really
kind
to
of the issue we had in Jersey too, right? We had a few spots we would go to with like a 40+ crowd. Like they didn't really have a spot where 20
Like
30-year-olds
Papillon and
went
those
to.
places.
Yeah, like we didn't really find it. Of course, they're scattered in between, but they didn't really have them. Of course, I'd be like Charlotte's gonna be better. It's still a city,
right?
has way more places to go to. That like when we try and compare it to New Jersey, it's just not even.
It's not
Can't compare
comparable.
with New Jersey's a state. It's not a city.
Right.
Charlotte's a city within North Carolina. The issue with someone like Jersey, so they didn't have a major city. I mean, they do have a major city,
Like
Newark, but it wasn't
Jersey
established
City.
up the way it could be. Like if they really take Newark and properly develop it, it will be different. But yeah, let me not get off topic. Are y'all in Charlotte? I'm in Houston, Texas. I've been there a little over a year, and Nana's been 3 years is next month. You're gonna have your 3-year update video soon. Nana's been in Charlotte 3 years. Next month makes 3 years. So
but we're currently filming.
We're
this
both
from
Charlotte, right?
Charlotte,
Right now, I
Carolina.
visited Charlotte. Last time I've been here was a year ago. It's crazy. I feel like once I moved, I had to slow down a little because life happens, responsibilities, and Nana comes to Houston. We meet when we go like on vacations, and we hang out with our cousins.
I've been to Houston like 4 times since she moved.
Yeah, she came March last year, May. That's
January this year,
and then April. So 4
I've been
times.
to Houston 4 times since she moved.
So we still get to see each other. My mother yesterday was on the phone where she said we got to pick one place. We should get a 2-bedroom, live with each other. I'm like, I don't know if Nana can live with someone, and I don't think I can do it either.
You can't either.
But
see the way your slippers are even because he's walking around like this.
I think we can manage in certain. That's what I'm saying. People have things they can manage on. Difference. Mine is just more like we have. Nana's like very sensitive noise wise. Like we're not gonna be paying rent. You can tell me I can't walk around.
And I'm irritable.
Yeah, like I'm irritable too. Though, but it's about certain things. I was like, I have to have a different bathroom. Of course, we'd have different bathrooms. But it's still,
I don't even think I think you're missing the wrong thing. I think the issue is that who is going to want to move because I'm in Charlotte to stay. Like I'm not going anywhere. So basically, and you allegedly love Houston. So I think it's not even an issue about living together right now. The point is that like, who's going to be willing to move to the other person?
On my church friend, she's like, I don't twins. You guys live apart. That's crazy. Like you guys live in the same place. I mean, I get it, but she had moved first, and of course, it would have been easy if I just moved to Charlotte. But then I just don't see. Like I say all the time, I don't see myself living in Charlotte. Like I don't. Not to say I can never move. My mother and father are not in Houston. My husband is not there. My child is not there. So it's not at the end of the day, Nana's not attached to Charlotte either. Like she may feel comfortable with Charlotte, but if she decides tomorrow she wants to move, she can. There's nothing that crazy holding her here that for any of us. You know what I mean? But like once you go somewhere, you get used to it. It becomes difficult. Right. Just the idea of packing up. I already moved twice.
I helped my friend
last lucky you only moved.
You
never moved. You've been in the same apartment since you came.
I'm trying to even renew to stay, but this apartment's 3 years, but I can't stay any more space. I literally want to move downstairs to the new apartments they're building. Like that's how much.
I don't mind staying in my own complex, just moving to like a 2-bedroom. Because at least
it's still kind of like you still gotta move though.
But at least it's better.
Yeah,
like come on, I can take one day by day, just pick stuff by myself
and walk to your apartment. Right.
Like just get moved.
No, I'm definitely
one day to put everything up. Just it would be a little annoying, but it's like just moving everything to another unit, changing my address.
I definitely want to stay in my same
complex. If I was to really
complex.
move, because I'm really considering my lease is up. I have my lease till March. If I
March of next year. Oh, that's a long time.
I would really want a 2-bedroom, honestly. We'll just see. We'll take it a day at a time. I would just want to stay in my car. I can't. I've already moved in Houston. I was in my road trip place.
I forgot.
Now I'm thinking I should have moved the weekend I moved to that apartment that I knew like I don't like this location, but I didn't know about the roach issue. If I knew, I would have been seeing roaches. Because when you get the apartment of like 48 hours or 72 hours to sign and say you don't want to live here or it's not what you thought it would be.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you have like 3 days or something like that to decide you want to stay there. So I could have just moved that weekend, but imagine the stress looking for another apartment.
My friend is going through that now. Y'all better be glad y'all don't have children that you have to transfer from another state or city to Mecklenburg school system, but hopefully it has gotten better since I was there, that process. Oh yeah, I heard the school systems at Mecklenburg County are not that good. Right, and then and they fly.
Yeah, there's roaches. Yeah, Houston has flying roaches for sure.
She said big as hell. Yeah, so yeah, there's no perfect place like we always say. It's about what you want, what you're looking for. Yeah, that's the point where my sister, my coach, talk about. We want to hear, and I'm like Nigerian. I say y'all in Charlotte, stop talking like that. Y'all don't live in like. You have to accept that. You shouldn't go out and even expect that. That's not where you are. No, it's not even that. You can expect that, but you know where you have to go. You're being realistic. I'm not going to crave.
Very limited spots.
Yeah, you're going to go to the same place and be seeing the same people. That's what it is, but it's not like you can't get it here. It's not like it's impossible to hear it here, but you have to know that I'm not gonna go to crib and expect to hear Afrobeats all night. that's not a realistic expectation, right? But at the same time, I'm like I said, I'm okay with mixed crowds. I'm okay going to different. I went to RSVP the other day, and it was a really chill vibe. It was like a day party, and I heard at nighttime is cool too. So it's not like it's not like I have to only go to African stuff or I have to only go to Black stuff, you know. But I know the type of music. I'm being real. I know the music I like. So the music I like for the most part is Afrobeats or like reggae. Like that's the type of music I gravitate towards. So if you tell me to go to Stats every weekend to hear hardcore rap, that's not my vibe. That's not where I want to go. I don't want to hear rap. Yeah, I don't want to hear rap music all night. That's just not my vibe. I'm not saying anything's wrong with the people who do, or the people that's what they like as well. Because I like my city girls here and there. I like my what's the girl? I'm FREE Glorilla. Like, yeah, I like her music, but it's like that's not the vibe I want every weekend. That's not what I want to do. So I think that maybe some people feel the same way I do, and they just end up just staying home, or they don't really go out that much because they're not getting what they want when they go out. It is possible.
For sure. I like Texas though. It was a culture shock at first, but I'm getting used to it now. Not that bad and very diverse. Nice. What part of Texas?
So you moved from Charlotte? Oh, she said I used to live there. She used to live in Charlotte. Okay.
So what part of Texas are you in, Moon Goddess? The flying roaches are called water bugs. They're cousins. Yes, I trust I learned that term. People are like, water bugs. When I start seeing roaches flying, I said in America, oh my gosh, people won't even believe. I was telling my aunt, she didn't believe me.
So this is obviously a down south thing.
Yes, it's the weather, it's the trees, it's the environment, it's the heat. They come out in the summer heavy, and by now, last summer, oh my gosh, I just thank God for growth and His tender mercies, because I know what I was going through last summer, and I want to break that lease. It's giving me so many issues. Oh,
they're trying to make you pay all this money.
Right, accelerated rent. But then they'll take you to the bill collectors. I don't have time I don't want to mess up my credit. It was a lot. Oh, you're near Sugar Land. Nice. You're in the Houston metro area. Nice. So
did you like Charlotte when you lived here? Like, how do you? It's interesting because you're in Houston and she's in Houston. I'm in Charlotte.
And you made the comment about schools. I'm assuming you have kids. So are you like living with like your family?
Roach is enough reason for me to never live in Texas, huh? You got that. I've been in Charlotte. I've never seen a roach.
It's not roach. It's about living. Yeah, you're in Charlotte. You're not living by trees. You don't have to live in Houston. You don't have to go live in the forest. I was living in the forest. That's why I saw all those roaches. I don't live in the forest right now. It's completely different. Trust me.
The place I moved to at first, it looked good on the internet.
That was mine. I saw then when that's why. And then people get lucky. I can't rent somewhere or buy anything and not see it in person. Because it's not about just seeing. Lucky. It's not about just seeing you have to see the environment that it's in. It's not about just seeing that. If I would have seen it and known that I was in the forest, there's no way I would have got that apartment. Even yesterday, my mother's like, "Oh, that place was bad." We're talking about it. That place was bad, and my mother, for her to even notice, I don't like it. I don't like. She visited like in January finally, and I moved February. Like I knew I had to move. Like there was no option of even considering renewing. But it's like there's certain things you'll notice. Oh, I moved here. Oh, there's a school here. Oh, there's a stop sign. Oh, I see like people congregating on this street.
I live off the main road. Right. Like, that was my concern too, because my apartment's like off of a main street. And at first I'm like, oh, because I have sleeping issues, but now I don't. At nighttime it's quiet, so it doesn't bother me. But I was very concerned when I first moved to like, oh, is this gonna keep me up? Am I gonna be hearing people at night? Toby said she in Charlotte. So Toby, I'm assuming that you live in Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte City is that Charlotte people.
I don't know what we're gonna do.
Charlotte don't even have Zara, but they come in. That's the point I mean, even about development. How you not have Zara in the whole state of North Carolina? That's crazy. That is kind of crazy. That's weird, but I like a lot of people don't have it in their state. I'm watching my one YouTuber. Whenever she go to Atlanta, she go to Zara.
Yeah,
the state she was coming from, she didn't have it. So whenever she was flying, she's like little stuff like that. I'm not saying pick a state based on the stores they have it. Come on now, I don't want people to start coming from. Let's be reasonable. But that type of stuff shows the development. The progress, like Charlotte's still an up and coming city. Is a point I'm making. They still have a lot of work to do in terms of developing themselves.
Toby says Zara's greater than roaches. For real. I'll take no Zara over roaches.
No, just like I said, roaches is where you live.
You ready? Because we outside today.
I'm sure people have.
This live got my energy back.
I'm sure people have roaches in North Carolina. It's about don't live by all these trees.
So Moon Goddess says, honestly, no. And the reason was I married then and had children. That school system did it for me. And although I was certified in the medical field, it was hard to find a job back then if I was single. If I was single, I probably would have had a blast. I heard the old Charlotte was lit. I heard like pre-pandemic Charlotte was really nice. Just sometimes I'd be like, oh, I really wish I had I moved like in 2019 so I could come in here and compare it. I don't know the pre-pandemic Charlotte. I moved during the pandemic, right? So I heard like Charlotte used to be so lit. They talk about the epicenter. By the time I came, epicenter's closed. That's in Uptown. They said there would be so many places to go and so many things to do. And I'm like, oh. Toby, would you ever consider moving to Dallas? Funny because my closest friend in Charlotte just moved to Dallas last weekend. My other friends moved to Dallas. I keep hearing, but to me, Dallas reminds me of Charlotte.
Is not. I say all the time. I understand from maybe people coming from somewhere else to go to Dallas. I get it, depending on what you're looking for. But I've been to Dallas so many times, and I know people living in Dallas. Dallas is to me, it's very family orientated. Like I don't see myself as a single person going to live in Dallas. Like it just doesn't give me that vibe.
It's like Charlotte.
Yeah, like it's just a bigger Charlotte.
More
Africans, more, you know what I mean? But it's like it doesn't. I feel like kind of the same thing doesn't really cater to Black people. It's kind of like in terms of establishments, yeah. Like I feel as if it's a very white city.
Same thing like Charlotte.
Yeah, like it's not like it's and not necessarily anything wrong with that, but I just don't see myself. I feel like I'll even probably consider Austin. Would I consider Austin if I was to move?
Austin. I don't know. I don't think Dallas. I really don't think. I mean, only reason Dallas kind of reminds me of Charlotte. I actually like Charlotte, but at the same time, why move to get the same vibe?
Right.
Why not just stay where I already know, where I've established for 3 years?
Maybe just cost of living.
Dallas is not cheap. It's just as expensive as Charlotte. Heck yes, it's roaches and NC. Some parts are very much infested. I'm an exterminator via my grandmother, so I know how to get rid of everything. Smart, like never move to Greenville and see for the most part unless you're old and ready to retire. It's not a good place for young single people.
It depends on where you have to be very specific on where exactly you're going to. A lot, even within these metros, I say all the time, people say, yeah, I'm moving to Houston, they'll go move to Cypress. Yeah, you're technically in Houston metro area, but you're not in Houston. And unless you're someone that's willing to drive and like really make moves, it's different when you're it makes a big difference when you're close to things in terms of going out and having a social life. Not to say, oh, go move and live in downtown or live in the center of the city, but like location is very important. That's why price changes with location. Trust me, like you want to be where things are happening or close to it. You don't have to be on the inside.
Right. But the thing is that like the thing with Charlotte I like is the chill aspect of it, but like you said, it's still developing. But it's kind of unfortunate. Like by the time you develop a bit, like married with kids, right? Mm-hmm. By the time it gets to that level, but I don't really necessarily need a Houston or Atlanta vibe either, right? Because I feel like when I go there, it's a bit overwhelming, it's a bit too much. I just think Charlotte could just do a little bit more, but I don't think I really need to be in a place that's like party because I'm at an age I don't even care for. Like last night we were supposed to go to the club, we ended up coming home and sleeping. Like I'm not even at that point. Like that doesn't really move me. You get what I'm saying?
To me, it's not about that. It's not club. It's about just everything. Mm-hmm. Whether it's candle making, just having events. That's the point I'm saying. For somewhere like Houston, I will go on Instagram. It's like I'll just be. They keep giving me all these ads. Like there's always so much happening. Like it's like I've actually started following this girl on TikTok. She does Thursday. She lists everything happening in Houston. She's a Black creator, and like I'm just like. Wow, like she's really putting people on because like there's always so much happening. Like if you're saying there's nothing to do, it's because you don't have people to do with it.
Right.
Do it with.
But you don't think that's everywhere to an extent?
That's not everywhere.
You don't think things are happening right now in Charlotte?
Charlotte's a major city, yeah. But I'm just saying everywhere doesn't have things happening. No, there's places where people really don't have anything. Like they don't have much to do.
That's true. People want cheap rent, but you can pay dearly for that sometimes.
Yes, you get what you pay for 90% of the time.
Location is everything. I think you can move spring and do your thing in Charlotte as a Black person. It was just my personal experience and circumstances. Yeah, Charlotte's not bad at all. I think just with any place like I'm about to be here 3 years. Last year I went out like a lot, like my cousin moved here. I start putting myself out there more. It's natural things are gonna get redundant. It's natural you're gonna get tired of these places. Like, even like Crave, I haven't been to Crave in over a month. Right? Like, so like if I go there every week, why wouldn't I get tired of it? If I go to the same places every 2 weeks, some people don't, I get it, especially guys.
And you go somewhere all the time, you start to form community there, right?
Right.
So some people, that's why they want to.
Right. That's true. It's a good and a bad thing.
It's a good and a bad, because you don't want to go to random places every week where you don't know people.
Right.
People want to go somewhere they see people they know, they recognize, and they can talk to. Because that's how they form their tribes, like having a church. Right. It's like having it's community. You have a gym, you have places you go to all the time, and you meet people and you build a community at that place. Right. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like we shouldn't look at it like, oh, like no. Like it's just maybe I don't need to be eating what's I crave every week, or I don't want to be spending money every week, or blah blah blah. But there's nothing wrong with having a spot you go to every week. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Especially if your friends are there and
I don't see anything wrong with that.
That's true. Guys tend to do that more. I think girls, I don't know. I feel like guys tend to do that more, like have their bars, or have their clubs that they frequent often, have their spot, like where they shoot pool, where they have, smoke their cigars. But I feel like for us, I don't know if it's the same thing.
Hi, Johnny C. Thanks for joining us. Make sure people are joining in. So make sure you guys are liking this video as you join in. It really helps the algorithm. Like. And continue what you're saying.
Yeah. So I think it's normal. You go places, especially you start seeing the same people, especially for someone that's like looking for someone, you're trying to date, you start seeing the same people, you're gonna get bored. You're gonna get tired. But at the same time, because it makes a good point, you also build community that way, right? Because if you don't go out, you don't put yourself out there, how are you gonna meet people?
Exactly.
How are you gonna socialize with people? You go, it's not a bad thing going out and seeing your friends and seeing people that especially most people move into a place like Charlotte, they're not from here. Your family's not really here. Your friends are not really here. So if you don't go out and meet people, how do you build that community?
Right.
Another thing I was shout out to is that finally this year I started going to some Mad Mouse stuff, and I was like, wow, like I can't believe I waited this long. Like my cousin talks about some of her friends who are not even in North Carolina send her Mad Mouse. Like, you don't go to this. This is in Charlotte. You don't go to their events, and like they run like every Tuesday night and Saturday mornings. I've never been on a Saturday, but I'll go Tuesday evening. And it's a really cool vibe. Like a lot of people. You don't have to be Black, obviously, but most people there are Black. It's a run club. So things like that, like communities. So now I'll go out, and if I see people, oh, those are Mad Mouse people. You get what I'm saying? Like you actually, the more you go out and the more you meet people, you actually start to realize that, wow, like I don't know how to explain. You start to realize that everyone's kind of connected in some type of way. Like as you get older, like people, at least the people who come out, right? Because if you don't go out, no one's going to know you. That's just a fact. But from the people that go out and are outside, you just realize that everyone is sort of connected in some interesting way.
Sierra, how does the humidity in Charlotte compare to in Houston? You can't come. Houston's very humid.
Yeah, I don't really consider Charlotte to be humid.
Houston, the humidity's crazy. I won't even sit here lying. And
I don't consider Charlotte.
It's not even just the heat that makes Houston. It's the humidity. It's the humidity. It is so humid right now. Even at nighttime.
Are you going to leave this video up for replay? Of course, it's going to be up. I'm glad that we as women are not afraid of change, of moving, of the unknown. That's how you find yourself and your purpose. You can't just stay in the same location all your life. Yeah, and it's scary. I know why people do stay. Mm-hmm. And after my experience, it wasn't a terrible one, but that's another reason why I'm not really pressed to move again, mm-hmm. because I know how long it took me to establish myself. I know how long it took me to like finally feel comfortable. And the thought of getting up now and moving again, why? What is so special in those other cities? Like I'm still working on making friends in Charlotte. Like, I'm still working on getting myself together here. So yeah, I think it's a good experience, but I get it's not for everyone. I say that all the time. I've been to Charlotte for 2 years and I haven't seen a Caribbean scene, sadly, in Charlotte for 2 years. Okay, so have you I heard about this new place called 4800. I haven't been, but they do I see that they do stuff on Sundays, like day parties. I haven't been there. That's the only one I know. I know there used to be a place called Crystals, but it closed before I got here. I know some Caribbean people go to Bacardi on Saturdays, but yeah, I don't know much about the Caribbean scene here either. I'm not even gonna lie, I haven't. Hey ladies, I'm in Charlotte and I love your videos. Hi Nakia. I hope I'm saying it right, Nakia. So what do you do in Charlotte? Put us on. I still have to. Where is our girl at? She not on live. The one that told us to go to Noda. Start going to Noda and go to that karaoke bar. I still haven't been there. That's on our list. Yeah, I gotta get back to going out, but it's about to come back. Summer's here because there's still so many things I haven't done in Charlotte that I want to do. So how can I complain when there's so many places I haven't been? I have family and they send me events that are happening near me in Texas. They want to go and want to visit here. Heck, yeah, it's very hot and humid. Yeah, talk about it's okay. That's Houston. How old are you, ladies? If you don't mind me asking, because I'm 27 and I don't care 31, for the clubs either.
27. Yeah, I started. My thing, if I'm going to the club, is an event.
Like, right, that's how we are. Right.
I don't care.
Or the 1st of July weekend, they say, "Oh, come out, we going to."
I don't care for just going to the club.
I'm not going to be bored to say, "Let's go to the club."
You're paying money.
That would never be
paying for parking. Some places will charge you enter or just be standing. I don't like going to clubs and just standing around. I don't do that. Like, it has to be something.
This is section, girl.
I don't care for spending money on sections
because we don't even drink.
Right, I don't drink like that. So like, I would do it if there's something happening, but I can easily go a month to not go to the club. Summer's a little different, and the biggest thing about
people
club,
go out more.
Yeah, it's just like hearing the music. It's
right, really that's the thing about me. Like, I love my music.
And I was in the club for this weekend. I was texting my cousins, like, people talk about where men are. A lot of them are in the club. The club and the gym. The quality is maybe, or their intentions may be another story. What they want from you, but people, the idea, like people say, where do you see men? The club. That's probably someone has a higher men ratio than women. I swear, because I was in the club.
You think so?
I was in the club. Like, where are the women?
Wow.
Like it was just so many men. And I was like, wow, like, you know, like when you see that type of ratio, you notice it because, you know, in the everyday stuff you go to, you just see women.
And I guess I think that's the vibe I get in Charlotte. It gets really annoying. I feel like everywhere you go to, it's just a bunch of women. You be like, where are dudes? Where are the men? And like she said, it's like almost like you have to go to the club to see men. Everywhere you obviously Crave is one of my favorite spots I talk about. They need to sponsor a video, but you know it's a dessert bar. So obviously you're going to a dessert bar. What do you expect to see?
But men like dessert. They don't eat
women or people on dates. That's what you're gonna. But then low key Crave, there's some there are guys that really be at Crave. I'm not gonna lie. It's depending on the day, because guys that want to chill vibe just like us, right? They don't always want to be in the club either. Ciara said, "Okay, thank God I can't handle crazy humidity. LOL. Thanks for all the info in Charlotte. No problem." At least you didn't move to a trashy NC city. And yes, it does take some time to get established in a new place. So you can't be too hard on yourself, especially when you're moving during a pandemic. My club days have been over and I look way younger than my age. I have no desire unless I'm doing an event or making some business connections. Yes, Noda 101. That is the karaoke spot in Noda. Blind Pig. There's a whole strip of bars. Uptown has the Hive, Imperial 1501, the usual. Uptown 1501 is actually South End, but yeah, it's not far from Uptown. Imperial's a new spot. I told her about it if she want to go. But it's like really more lit on Sundays, and she's not going to be around. But Imperial's like the new spot. I've been there a couple of times. Uptown, the Hive. The Hive is near Imperial too. I've never been to the Hive, but I've heard of it. 1501. I love 1501. The sibling to the left used to live in Houston. Yes, I guess that's to the left.
Yes, I'm still in Houston. I'm still there. I'm still in Houston.
When Texas. I left, I heard a lot of women in the LGBT community in the Queen City. Yeah, I've actually noticed that. I have noticed that definitely. So I think this is a city that certain people would gravitate towards. Yeah. You're absolutely right. I noticed that a lot. I was actually telling my cousin that the other day. Like, this is interesting. Yeah, I was like, this is very interesting. But yeah, Charlotte, I just feel like everywhere I go, so many women. I'm just like, do guys not come out no more? Like, my cousin's like, Nana, we gotta start going to cigar bars. And I'm just like, but I don't smoke. I was like, what are we gonna do there? I was like, I was just gonna be there, just coughing because I don't like cigarette smoke, any type of smoke. Dr. David B. Foley says, I've seen you.
Okay, nice.
Where have you seen her? If it's not appropriate, don't write it in here.
Everyone joining, please like this video. Like. We are live from Charlotte, North Carolina. I made my debut. You know what I mean? Charlotte was calling me. They were missing me. I had to shake it up for them a little bit because
tonight we
we gotta turn it up small because they need my flavor here. So
they need your Houston flavor.
They need my Houston flavor because you know how we do it in Houston. We're both from New Jersey though, so we're Jersey girls. I'm always gonna rep Jersey, but I found a point when I was just complaining so much.
I was bored.
I got used to the boredom, and you don't realize. And I look back to my life, I was just like, how was I living like this? I was just existing, like I wasn't living. Like it was comfortable. My family's there, my mom. I'm just like, I just knew I wanted more. I needed
we tried.
More.
We made it.
I wish I even moved that earlier. Honestly, I wanted to move right after the pandemic. Right after I graduated school, but then the pandemic was there. I was having issues finding a job. I wasn't in the best financial situation. I just had to wait. And I kept waiting. And it came to a point I was like, I had 2020 entered. I came back from Nigeria in January. I was like, I gotta go. I'm not giving myself any excuses. Do I wish I would have waited a little more? Yes. I moved February 2022. I should have moved March 2022.
Right.
And let me tell you why. Number one, I went to London in that February. The weekend after I went to London, I was doing a lot. And it was London from Texas is 10 hours, from New Jersey is 6 hours.
So you kind of rushed it.
Thank you. Then I didn't go and look at my apartment.
Right.
Instead of moving into that road trip festive place, February I went and looked at places and signed the lease in Houston.
Yeah, so don't rush.
Took a weekend and signed that lease in Houston, then moved in March. But I was so like, 2022, I can't be in New Jersey. I'm tired. I'm 30 years old. I need to get out. I've been 2021. I was trying to get out. It wasn't happening. It wasn't. I was so determined to leave 2021 that I even took my licensing exam. And I ended up not even having used that Texas license exam.
Why did you really choose Texas?
The cost limit. When I first visited Houston in October 2020. My cousins would not believe me. Once I stepped into Houston, I said I can live here. Legit, it was my first time ever visiting. I'd never been there. I was visiting with my cousin. I was looking for jobs. Of course, and later on,
Justina came with you.
Yeah, Justina was there. Me and my cousin Justina was being tourist. Nana's always in her own little world. We were in Emancipation Park. We were in downtown. Yeah. We went to Grooves. We went to this place, that place. I was like, I could really see myself here. I just felt at peace. I felt easy.
Really?
Of course, other things transpired, and my cousins believe there's another reason why I moved
think
here.
there's another reason.
It wasn't because he probably been watching.
But she FREE at nigga free.
But I wasn't talking. That wasn't even in my mind, and it wasn't even. I had made a covenant. I wasn't even talking to him for like 4 or 5 months. He wasn't even in my mind moving here. But the devil has a way of bringing things into life that need to be there. But with my testimony, I'll share it another day when I share that testimony. But like I was just like I perceive myself in Houston. Conveniently, it would have been easy to move to Charlotte. None is there. But then I
think you also just wanted to be on your own.
I don't think that's it. I think number one, I thought about Charlotte. I thought about cost of living. I thought about weather. I thought about having to get licensed. Like Charlotte in my industry, like it's not really like.
But you work remote. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I had just gotten the job. I was ready to go and work in person. That's why I had taken the Texas State exam and I had passed it in January. I was ready to work a retail hospital job. Mm-hmm. And then I got the job that I have now. God always fault. I haven't even used that license. Man. I'm still trying to use it. I have to renew it in November, pay money. I've never used it.
I have to renew my license in November too.
So just the way things transpired with me, easy to move to North Carolina. I even looked at Raleigh at a point when Nana was here. We went to Raleigh for a weekend now. Raleigh was number 2 though for states highest black population.
I think Raleigh's more for families though. That's for families.
We were driving around. It was so quiet. It was too calm. We went and looked at those ratchet apartments that were $800. I was like, geez, no, there's no way. That's in life. 90% of the time, you get what you pay for. 90% of the time. Sometimes things are overpriced for no reason. Mm-hmm. Yes, but 90% of the time, I believe you get what you pay for. But going back to why I choose Houston, I already was familiar with it. I had visited already a few times. I had a few friends there. I already knew about it, but I just felt like it was my vibe. And
really,
yeah. And I'm like, I think I do. From now looking back, I think I made a good choice. But time will tell. And like I said, we're not stuck anywhere. We're not trees. We can always move.
Guess the women said forget it, we'll date each other in Charlotte. Queen City, raise up. Okay. Toby, I'm surprised you both found NJ boring. What city were you in? NJ's boring. We were in West Orange, New Jersey.
People think New Jersey, think New York. We don't live in New York.
New Jersey's boring. For young people, Nakai said, I left Jersey for Charlotte 4 years ago, but I do miss family. Shout out to Jersey. What part of Jersey were you in?
Issues that Jersey don't have that main city.
You wanted to move to Burlington, New Jersey? I wanted to move to Burlington, New Jersey with family to complete a nursing program. Child, it used to be way faster and less difficult than NC. Burlington is that's funny. That's
where my family's from. You said with family, that's different. With family, so will you move with your whole family or to go live with family? If you're an older person or you have a family, it's different. But Burlington, that's South Jersey. Oh no,
that's boring. Carowinds, my favorite place in Charlotte. I love roller coasters. Surprisingly, not surprised. I've never been to Carowinds because I don't do roller coasters, but I want to go one day just to like hang out. I mean, I like New Jersey, New York. Spent a lot of time there. Okay.
I miss up there. I want to go to New York. I haven't been to New York in years.
Ciara asks, this is off topic, but how did you both adjust to moving to a new city and state alone? When I look back, it wasn't easy. When I really thought about it, I was thinking about it this morning for some reason. When I look back to moving here in August, I remember my mom moved with me. Then I was here for a couple of days alone. Then my sister and my brother came. Then I remember just being by myself. And I'm just like, I never had this experience. Like I never lived all by myself. And I wasn't working at the point. So I'll be home by myself. I wasn't dating. So I'm home by myself. I had a little bit of family around, but I had a lot of lonely moments in Charlotte. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm transparent. Vulnerability is not a weakness. I had a lot of lonely moments in Charlotte. And then I started working. I worked in person, so that helped. Then I met my friend through Instagram, my close friend. She kind of brought me in the streets. I started meeting people. Like my transition was very slow because I moved August 2020 during the pandemic. And then I was traveling a lot. I'll go back to Jersey for like a week. We went to Texas for a little bit. It really wasn't easy, but like with everything in life, you get used to it. With time, you get used to it. And
I would say for me adjusting, it was a little different. I moved a little later, and I was so over New Jersey. I had one friend that lived close to me. Then I ended up in a relationship. Then that honestly, I wouldn't even lie.
She said y'all wrong because I think she talked. This is the part when we was talking about him.
Oh yeah, so that ends up being, I won't lie, men do make it easier when you have. I think back to how I was in my house. I wasn't really pressed to go out. It's because I wasn't single. So like I wasn't single, so like I didn't have that press. Like I need to go out, I need to be seen. And then when you move, let me tell y'all what operating with a spirit of fear does. We're gonna have to diverge it out. First, when I moved to Houston, I joined these Facebook groups. Right, we're living in Houston. Black women in Houston. I had to even leave them. Too negative. Oh, really? Houston, there's no man. Oh, the men. Of course, there's validity to things that they say. Oh, there's no man. You can't date anyone there. No one dates people from Houston. Blah blah blah. When you tell yourself certain things, you put in the atmosphere. You start to. You operate on that
And
level.
scarcity
You
mentality.
operate on that level. You cannot tell me a city with 2.7 million people don't have a man for you.
Same thing in Charlotte.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Of course there are. I have my trust me. Like I said, when I'm ready to share my testimony, I'll blast it on this channel. It will go viral. Million views. It'll probably be our one. I know what the people are speaking to.
Because you've had your experience.
But at the same time, you have to listen to your inner self and just pay attention. But don't have, number one, you shouldn't even be moving anywhere just thinking about men like that, period. Because everywhere is hard.
Everywhere.
If someone comes and tells you, what state in America would you move to have a better dating experience? I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
I really don't know what the answer is because it's just the grace of God and love mixed together. It's hard out there. It's not easy. We are in a different times. This is a different world right now. We have all these
hard to trust
all
people,
these agents of darkness coming out and
to
trying
open up to people.
Men and women, everyone is
hurt,
trauma.
scarred.
A lot of people have their issues. Nowhere is easy. But at the same time, don't go around don't go with that scarcity mindset. Mm-hmm. Don't be in delusional abundance either.
Right.
You know what I mean? There is a delusional abundance, thinking that everything is there. You can manifest the world.
Everything is
there's
good.
Abundance of everything.
You still be a little realistic. The Art of Not Giving Up. You know what? And it talks about I
read that book last year.
It talks about being some people be too positive. There's times in your life is gonna suck, and that's okay. That's natural. You can't say, "Oh, like it had me crying." The person, people say, "Oh, well, like it gave an example, like, oh, your child died of throat cancer. Well, at least you don't have to pay for college."
Right.
Like when people try to,
I didn't read that book because I got it from Nigeria and it has some bad.
No, I'm gonna it's really helping me change perspective. Like, no, you don't want to be overly positive. The point that trying to look for positivity in every bad situation. No. Sometimes life is bad. Right. Sometimes things suck.
And it's life.
And you got to deal with it.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? But going off that is like your mindset is so important. If you're moving somewhere or I see people talk about I'm a loner. I'm not. I can be someone that stays by myself.
Me too.
I'm low key / introvert, but I'm also very extrovert.
Yeah, it's weird.
It just depends on it just depends on my mood and my energy level. But if you're someone trying to move to a new place and you don't want to go out and make friends,
and then you don't complain the city. The city, Charlotte's so terrible.
Where you
sit in the house all day.
Stay where you are. It's not easy. I won't even say it like we're picking off the question: how is it moving somewhere alone? It's not easy. You have to have the personality for it. You have to be willing to go out there and pursue relationship, not just men. Even females, more importantly, because these men will come and go for the most part. You got to be able to go out and the friends I've made. I've bagged friends like legit. Hi, what's your name? Can I get your number? Legit, it's been on that level.
Your friends today?
You have to be intentional.
Right.
People don't want you this life that we all desire. You have to put in the effort to get it. It's not going to just happen.
Right.
It's little drops in the pool that make an ocean or it's the small things over time. You realize you have a community, you have friends, you have things to do every weekend. I have an event today I'm missing, but I said I have to come to Charlotte.
Oh, please.
I have an event today I'm missing. You know, like I have to come to Charlotte. Only one event, so this was a good weekend because too much wasn't happening.
How about next weekend?
Next weekend I have Friday, Saturday. I have too much going on.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, this weekend I bought this ticket on Tuesday. I actually bought it on Wednesday because I bought it on Tuesday first, canceled and bought it with a different airline on Wednesday.
That bad, I gotta redo them tonight.
Where I'm live. I did it on Wednesday. So it's like I know the life I move is not for everyone, but the reason I'm like, let me just come. It's been 1 year. Let me get my Charlotte visit in. But just trying to going full circle, closing up, moving alone. It's not for everyone. I know a lot of times, I was talking to my cousins this last week, we see a lot of people doing stuff, we feel like we all have to jump on the same bandwagon. No, everyone's not the same. Right. You have to know yourself and move accordingly. My one cousin moved to Charlotte. She tried to be smart. Last year where my other cousin, I moved to Charlotte. She tried to sound like independent. Then my other cousin's like, oh, wait, she's there? Yeah. Okay, you moved there. Now it's different. She didn't just move to a random city. She didn't know anybody. She has it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference.
If I had just one young person around my age,
very close with,
my experience in the beginning would have been
very different.
I think God even did it for a reason because I've probably been too outside, like just stay home,
very
and find
different.
yourself before you put yourself out there.
Even I understand why some people don't. I was considering Austin. I was considering Austin, and people are like, oh, Austin. I'm like, I don't know anyone there. Mm-hmm. I'm not moving somewhere I don't know anyone. It's not being closed-minded, but no, it's not a job bringing me there.
Right.
It's not a relationship, or a husband bringing me, not a relationship because we don't move for men. It's not a husband bringing me
Fiance.
there. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to pick a stand and say, I want to go to this place and I haven't even been there before. Oh no, because it's not easy. Don't try and make it seem like, oh, you're like some people make it seem like, oh, you're being closed-minded, live life. No, it's not easy starting from zero again as you get older. We're not in college, you're not going for school, you're not going for a job. Just to pick up and move somewhere, it takes a lot of courage. And I think that's, we both took bold steps. You know what I mean? I won't lie. It's really, it's not
And
easy.
then we also separated from each other for the
That
first
was also
time.
a bold step because
Right.
we're used to, until Nana moved, we never lived apart long term, so hope we already made a pact, y'all gonna hold us accountable. Whoever starts a family first, other person is gonna move. That's what we've tried.
Well,
And it sounds easy.
I told you I'm getting married next year, and then I'm getting so
I thought you're having a child this year.
Don't tell people my business.
So
I personally feel like this is me being real. I think Gus gonna end up in Charlotte.
No, I think
she'll end up in Charlotte before I end up in Houston.
No, I definitely think you end up in Houston for sure. I definitely think
we have a lot of comments.
Everyone's gonna be in Houston.
Nakai, and visiting Houston next month.
Oh, nice.
What's in Guzzy's top 3 spots?
Okay, let me just tell you offhand, random. I don't know what is. Houston has so much,
and the vibe you want.
So much that. So I would just say, let's say there's a very good black-owned bakery.
Kirby?
No, quiet. There's a very good black bakery, Crumville, in downtown Houston, black-owned, vegan, very good cupcakes, cookies, all that stuff. I'm talking about food. If you talk about, we just go by days. Friday night, if you want more of like a lounge, I would go to Kiss Houston. I like them. Their lounge, their food is decent. My friend,
we don't really have lounges
it's
there.
A nice lounge. Make a reservation. Turns into like a little party, not like a club. It's not a club at all, but it's like a lounge. Good food, open leg. Go to Kiss. I would suggest Kiss Houston. Saturday, I would say maybe if you want to do like a brunch, like a day, like a brunch. No, that's Sunday. Let me get to the days. On Saturday, I would say if you want to do like a day party brunch, I would say Campus Popular. I haven't been. I feel like it was a little bit of a younger crowd. It seemed a little ratchet.
Yeah,
but we were outside. I was not trying to pay parking. I was like, I don't want to go there. But it's very popular camp. Or you could do like Taste Kitchen and Bar. They closed. They reopened in downtown. I'm just naming like more like black-owned places. What's another popular? I have a whole list. Let me look at this list real quick. In terms of brunch, but on Sundays it's Chapman and Kirby's. Sundays, Sunday Fun Day. I went for the first time like 2 weeks ago, but I went like at 9 p.m. It was like dead, closed. Not dead, but it was closing down. Chapman and Kirby, the one you kept trying to say.
Chapman.
That's Sundays. So you go there earlier, like 2, 3, 4. It's like a day party. People are outside. Excuse me. But in terms of food, Houston has food for days. There's also Bar 5015, Bar 5015.
Okay, and you gave him more than 3 spots.
There's Prospect Park. There's so much.
That's place that Wednesday does Afrobeats, right? Okay, from NJ, would never move back. It's been 25 plus years, but I've lived in DMV, Atlanta, and Tampa for 13 years. Just moved to Charlotte, and it's certainly different. Okay, T.G., how long ago you moved to Charlotte?
How different in a good or bad way?
It's a lot of Louisiana men.
Oh yeah, a lot of Louisiana people. Period. That's probably like the
Houston.
number 1 population in Houston because they say a lot of is not going on in Louisiana.
And
so
I'm trying to
come
stay
everywhere to
FNF vigorously. Yes, we FNF. It's the FNF crew. We don't do that. Better to be alone than dealing with one of those. Are you a pharmacist? I think I see.
Yes, I am.
It's slower to me. The lack of diversity in certain areas is weird to me.
Yeah,
What area are you
Charlotte,
in, TJ? Yeah, talk about Charlotte. Houston is also for medical, life science, and engineering. I'm a dentist.
Oh,
okay,
yes.
Dr. David B. Foley. So where'd you see in Guzzy?
But you saw him at the medical center. I was there Thursday picking up a book. Yeah, for sure. People always say medical. When they say Houston, they always say oil and gas and healthcare. And I always be like,
Charlotte, they say healthcare and banking.
I'm like, healthcare, really? Because I don't.
The healthcare here don't pay like that. But the issue that job security.
There's a lot of jobs. You have a lot of big hospitals. You have a lot of Houston Methodist, and you have what's the other big one? Memorial Herman, like a lot of big chains. I don't know, Dr. Foley, can you get me I'm trying to get a per diem in a hospital for a year. They don't want to hire me.
He's a dentist though.
Oh, I don't know where he works. But yeah, we'll talk later.
Okay, networking. TG, Tampa should not be on any list for blacks. It's okay, but lack opportunities in dating sucks for black women.
I don't think Tampa was on for his list. It was Jacksonville and Orlando.
I agree, Nikaya. I stayed in ATL as well. Seattle has lack of diversity, things to do, and places to go comparably feel small. I'm from Newark. So Nikaya, you've been in Charlotte 4 years, right? So you can talk, right? Because you actually been in 4 years. So you were here before the pandemic. Can you let me know, like, the comparison? Do you feel like it's gotten worse or it's better?
And she's from Newark. Newark, yes, Newark.
Yeah, I love Raleigh for a minute now. That's the front. Raleigh is hood, all of it. Just looked quite quiet during the day. I liked it, but Chapel Hill was my first move. I liked it too. People nicer in Chapel Hill. In Chapel Hill, the people seem nicer. The white people in Raleigh are hood too, and mean. Even the ones with money. I was really doing my thing in the triangle. You've been everywhere, Moon Goddess. I can't keep up. It manifests. Yara, I love how transparent you are. That's the thing about us. You realize, life, everything's a remix. People are doing things the same thing. It's about how you do it, right? And you realize that your personality is what's going to attract people to you. Like, there's nothing new under the sun.
Streets.
Right.
You hear stuff. People we just talked about it earlier. Sometimes you get tired with the content. You're just surprised that people even enjoy it because it's like you feel like you're saying the same.
But
thing.
You realize that it's your delivery.
Right.
It's how you give people what they want. It's not necessarily what you're giving, because there's always going to be multiple places where people can get the information from. You know. My moon goddess said, "Preach." She said, "Well, are y'all in a spirit?" Well, we are all in the spiritual warfare no matter where you are.
We're operating both the physical and the spiritual.
Toby said, Pastor Nana and Gazi.
Yeah, what are we doing? Pastor, we link offering right now. Anyone? Super chat,
wait,
like,
what
share.
Were we saying that there was?
Because I was talking about the listening to your inner self and following, listening to your intuition and how nowhere is perfect and what you declare is what you get.
Being positive, but not like unrealistic. Focus on yourself, on becoming the person you want to meet. We're in the trauma healing era. I love you, ladies. I give us hi,
Regina. You've been gone for a little while. I saw you comment on one of the videos. I had to respond, but yes, hope you're good. I don't know where you are now. I know you said San Antonio at a point. Then you mentioned is in New Jersey, so let us know, Regina, where you are right now. Because I know you've been moving around. We all trying to find our place and find our ground and our footing.
And while you say that shit, I love you, ladies. I give us so much to talk about. Thank you. No problem. What I realized too is I felt like one thing I want to tell people about wanting to move is that the issues I had in New Jersey, I came to Charlotte and I had to face them still. Like sometimes I think people think
running away from your problems.
Yeah, like sometimes I think people think that I'm going to move to this new city and my life is going to be perfect. And all my issues are just going to turn. If anything, the issues came out for.
Let me tell you, it depends on what the issues are. Because for some people, their issue may be family that's close to them.
Right.
Their issue may be a toxic partner.
Right.
Their issue may be someone they need to escape.
Help. Right.
That it does help them get through that issue. But if the issues are more internal versus external, let's fly. If the issues are more internal versus external, it's a different ballgame. But for some people, that move is a game changer. I watched Loud.
It still was a game changer.
I packed up my car and drove from New Jersey.
It still was a game changer for me, even though I had to still deal with certain things. My mind was clearer. I had less distractions. I could focus on myself. I could be selfish. I don't have to worry about this person eat. Is this person at school? Is this person this? I could be selfish, just worry about myself, and that, in a sense, is beautiful. When you move to a new city by yourself, you have to elevate your mind and your ethic because you have no safety net if you fall down in life.
You have to build that safety net.
Necessarily.
Initially, you don't have the safety net. He's right.
I talk about like money because some people, even if they move somewhere and their parents are okay, they could always still ask for help. They're not necessarily alone because they're the new
But it's different.
Move back a little bit because you look like
it's different.
Okay.
It's different.
Yes, the village mindset is great in connecting with your tribe. The two of you is so real. The two of you have got great attitudes, and this show has always substance. Thank you, Regina. Austin is nice, but diversity is lacking.
That's the main thing why I said Austin. I want to visit this summer, but I'm like living there. I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna finish up the comments. I think it's about healing at this point and loving and self, then finding your tribe. Once we are walking in purpose and not worry about a man or woman, I think that's when you meet them. Maybe. I know a few people that are in miserable relationships, especially those pandemic relationships that have dragged on.
People still in pandemic relationships?
And guys, they moved to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Munga said, it's not safe now. I have to really know people and have discernment. Know self and not ignore the signs. The numbers are going up on DMV and femicide via intimate partner. I'm an advocate. Dr. David, before the people hang out every night in Houston.
Not every night. There's some people I know that said they moved to Dallas because they don't want to get distracted. And I can understand why, especially men, because men can get very distracted very easily. Like Dallas, because it's more calm and less to do, is better for them.
TG, are you telling me you've been here for 2 weeks in Charlotte? Because I think that's what I asked you. I'm not sure. Child, this food is good in some locations in Texas. I wish I could say that about Charlotte. I like DMV. Was wanted to move to be more to invest in real estate. I went to UT Dental in the medical center.
Okay.
Medical, I should have moved to Texas a long time ago. I like these hospitals better than NC. And Gussie said, please like the video.
Like the video, y'all.
And upcoming places, Nashville, Tennessee. That's on the list. That's on the list. Yes, I have to move to. No matter where you go, you are there. She just said, I love this channel. I like how you two keep it real. I would encourage anyone to get out where they are from. It changes you for the best. Okay.
I like the hospitals.
Happiness is an inside job.
I tell them all the time. You're looking for someone else to make you happy. That's dangerous. That's good luck. I'm not saying someone can't make you happier, but your happiness every day, number one, happiness is a choice. Because you see people going through so much and they still choose to be happy.
Hmm.
You have to wake up every day and tell yourself, I'm going to be happy. It's a choice, it's a decision. And it's something
Despite
that you,
the hurt,
despite your
the
circumstance,
trauma,
despite how you're
yeah.
feeling, despite your
And-
health condition, your mental condition.
But I
It's
think
a choice.
also you have to accept that at the same time, happiness is a trip. I think you also have to accept what I meant. You're not going to be happy every day.
Right.
And that's also okay. You're going to have days where you just want to sleep all day. You're going to have days where you're just,
What I'm
when
saying
you're
that
not
when
in
you
the
choose to
mood.
be happy is not because everything is perfect.
right.
Or it's not because your life is so great. It's because you've made that choice to be happy. You've made that choice to give yourself that happiness. You know, it's just a lot of inner work, and it's not. You're never going to be 100%. The idea that healing, you're always healing. Like some people say, "Oh, I need to heal for a relationship." You will never 100% heal. You will never, but you can be in a better place. You can be, 50%, 70, like at a better place, at a decent place, to a bar. But like this healing journey, we're always going to be going through it because this life is not easy. Okay.
Dr. David said, amen. Yep. Anna said, moving can give you a different view on the same problem, way to fix it, but moving won't solve your problems.
Yeah.
And then, but we all have to do the internal work, and sometimes that's the hardest part, accept that there's an issue. So overall, we're gonna conclude this live. We're gonna be seriously going back to weekly lives because we're thinking about actually moving it to the weekday. I want to know what y'all think about that before we close out.
I prefer weekday lives. I know weekends people are always doing
and it's
so
summertime,
much.
like we outside.
Setting a time.
We outside.
I'd rather do Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Thursday's not a good night either because people start their weekend Thursday.
Okay,
I think
Monday.
I think Monday's a good night. Especially Charlotte. I'm in
Monday,
Charlotte.
everything's closed in Houston.
Same thing
Monday,
with Charlotte.
for the most part.
You think we should start doing Monday nights?
Monday, what time would it be? Like 6? No, like 7 Eastern.
It has to be late.
6
People are
Central,
like 8 p.m.
8. I think 7.
Like 8 p.m.
7.
Eastern, 7 Central. You gotta think about it. Like people in the evening, people get home late. I think it should even be like 10 or like 9.
And I think 7, 8 latest. Because we still have to talk through it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about people watch shows, you watch a show. Usually
no one's watching a show at 7 or 8. Most shows start at 9.
What are you talking about? Shows start at 7, 8. What?
No. Most
7,
shows, even
8,
like the
Jeopardy,
a lot of shows
we
watch like at 11. That's why I couldn't make.
There's no show at 11. There's no
Okay.
show at 11. Even 10 is your drag. Your even 10 is a push. 9 usually. Okay, you say 9. Yes.
I think it should be like 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Let us know what time works for y'all.
I think we're gonna switch to the weekdays because weekends just be too much going on, traveling, events. You're trying to be outside. Like no one wants to run home and do it live.
Right.
Like just being real. Like it's just not the best day. Maybe when it gets colder and the work is ongoing, exactly like I said. And then great vlog. Thank you. I hope you subscribe.
Make sure you subscribe. You could still give us a super chat. Show your. It's not easy being a creator. Anything we appreciate. Number one is the likes. Just like it.
Share it. Just like and share.
That's number one. But if you're feeling generous, you can hit that super chat. And nothing is too small. Tomorrow's Sunday. You can give early offering. But it's not easy. That's something like even here, but like, oh my gosh, what time are we gonna do the live? I said, let's just do it.
Right.
Pick us up wherever.
Done is better than
just pick a time. Whoever can't watch it, they're gonna watch the replay.
Right.
And it'll be okay.
That's why we like to not make it too long, so like people actually watch the replay. And we're gonna start cutting videos out of our lives. That's been doing well too, because throughout the live, we've hit so many like topics that could be their own video, and realistically, everyone is not going to sit down and watch the whole hour. So why not give people snippets of what we talk about?
I listened to one of my favorite creators. She talked about how someone asks like, why are your videos so long? And she's like, to be honest, how longer videos do better.
Some people say
she'll put up a video 10-15 minutes and think, people watch it.
It's about the content, the substance of what
she'll put up an hour video and people are watching it.
Yeah,
it's some people can play this back while they're cleaning, while they're working. It's alive. It's not necessarily like a video we're showing you how to do something. So 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Central works is a good time. I think
for weekday, I think you have to make it later.
Nah, you talk about 10, you wilding because you're gonna be till 10. So I think I'm fine. I want to
start this.
I want to eat dinner.
Want to start next Monday?
It's up to you.
I can start Monday.
I want to eat dinner. Be good. Have the food
digested.
I think
9 p.m. is a good time.
Have you ever checked out Trill Burgers? Oh yeah, I've seen it. I had my friend at the.
They were at the rodeo. I don't know
what that is. They were at the rodeo. They had it. If you see, they were at the rodeo. If you see the lines for all the food. 2-3 people. That Trill Burgers line,
really.
My friend was standing there for like 45 minutes. Like that's in the lifetime that you feel about competition. Everyone is doing something, but when you're good or when you're doing it better,
right? It's about how
you'll stand out. Don't worry about how people are already doing it. I'm telling you, there were like all these food stands stripped all down. but that Trill Burgers, because they have, you know what, also too, they have a vegan option. And my friend said they used to do vegan cheese. I mean, regular cheese on vegan, they will only let her get vegan cheese on the vegan burger. That's a plus. Because a lot of people are into that plant life right now. It's not just having regular burgers. You have a regular burger, you also have the vegan burger with the vegan cheese.
Got it.
The line was crazy. So I drove by it. I actually don't live far from it. And I took a picture and sent to my friends. But they were at the rodeo, and my friend had guys, and the burger was really good. It was really expensive, like for a burger. But I think because it was also at the rodeo, you know, the prices for everything up. But I didn't try it. But it's on my list. I'm gonna try because I do like burgers here and there. I'll try it out and see.
Okay. I already am. I remember your first video when you moved to Houston. Your thumbnail was hilarious of the BBL.
The Houston culture. Hey,
this was great. Thank you, ladies. No problem. Dr. David, right? I saw that one and it was funny. Yes, that line. Okay, so we will see you. Hold my words with. We're gonna see you on Monday. You're gonna see me at least on Monday, even if I'm going live by myself. Hold my word. I realize that I really like going live versus sitting down and making videos. Like me and you guys talk about this all the time.
I think there's pros and cons of both, right? Like for live, you have to think about the time. You have to get it ready. You have to set it up. You have to get it titled. You have to still make the thumbnail. And you have to anticipate people coming. You have to be engaging in real time.
You have to have the energy.
You have to have the energy, right? Like it's not any time you could just go live and you hear, you're sulking. Like you can't go live like that. But a video is more like I can sit down and maybe shoot 3-4 videos at once.
But the difference is that like because we're good orators, we like to talk naturally. Like even earlier today, I wasn't feeling the best, but as soon as I come on here, it's lit. Like I'm good, you know. Like I think that it's just versus if I had to sit down and film and video, I don't think I would have the same energy.
Okay. Yes, very much so. Plus, it's not easy to perfect the vegan cheese. I know it. Yeah. You ever thought about going live on Instagram? We do need to start going live on multiple platforms at once, like TikTok and Instagram.
You can do it at the same time?
Yeah. Daddy Freeze does it. A lot of creators do it. I've never gone live on Instagram. I've never
No, and Guzzy, I'm about to get on TikTok today, and Guzzy gonna help me log on because I've been having issues with the logging.
I've never gone live on any of those platforms, but I've heard that they really get engagement. So even Facebook Live, people be on live also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just YouTube. I'm ready to step. YouTube is just the one we've been on often, and we know it more, and we're more comfortable with it. But we're trying to get bigger on other platforms because with this digital age, you need to have there's different audiences everywhere. You're missing people if you just stick to one. But of course, YouTube is the best. Main one. Yeah, YouTube will always be the main one. Exactly, right. It's evergreen. It's searchable. But the other content, when I moved to Houston, I thought all the women were going to when I first moved here. Women here are just naturally thicker too. They have bodies. It's the food here. I moved to Houston, gained like 10, 15. I'm still trying to get off the weight.
You really?
Yes. I moved to Houston, I gained weight, like a good 15 pounds. And I'm still trying to get it off. Like, it's just, I think working from home is a big one. Working from home, not because you don't realize how much you're just sitting, like you're not moving around. You have more access to food. Your fridge is right there. Like you can eat whenever you're hungry. If you're in work, even if you're hungry, you just have to manage it. Like you can't just eat whatever. So that's the thing. And then the heat, you can't really work out outside as often. Like you have to wait till it gets cooler. I want to start taking more walks. I want to implement. And
my gym membership next week is the last week because I'm paying too much money.
Any day I don't go to the gym, I take a walk, but it's too hot. I can't start walking until at least like October. So I really want it to be like whenever I'm not working, whenever I don't go in the gym, I just take a walk. So every day I'm working out some way.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up. It's been an hour and 12 minutes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this live on a Saturday afternoon. We know there's so many better things you could be doing, but I hope you guys had fun with us because we definitely have fun with y'all, and I will see you on Monday evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.